fire up the old Creality here and try and do this 16 or 17 minute benchy, and we'll see what happens. So if you saw the stream last night, you would have seen how damn quick this thing is. It's frightening, in fact. So it's a 15 or 16 minute benchy, 210 degrees at 60 degrees on the hot end, on the bed, sorry. I've just been printing this out. It does seem that there are one or two little deviations in the print. I don't know if you can see some of those black marks. Those black marks are basically, it looks like pitting from heat. So it's when the filament's essentially burning. So we're going to crack on with this very, very quickly. This will be a very, very quick stream. And let's just move the camera into a slightly better position. I'm doing a load of filming today. I've also got the Bamboo Labs printer here as well. So there we go. Let's just put this in so you know what's going on. Hello Tang, hope you're well. So the file's all ready to go. It's going to do the auto bed leveling. I suspect it's also going to do the usual bit with the input shaping as well. The bed's lifting up at this precise moment in time. I am seeing on the bearings at the top here though, or the pulleys, that we are starting to get some crud build up. We've only done a very, very small amount of printing so far with this, so it's a little bit worrying to see that. But here we go. Now the feet are on this as well. So last night on the stream, if you caught that, again, thank you if you did watch that. We've put the feet on this now and it's on a stable desk. So any of the movement that you see on this video is certainly on a very, very stable desk that shouldn't move anywhere. But we're going to crack on with this and whip this one out. Again, it's going to be a very short stream, but you'll see the full power of the Creality K1 with this 16 or 17 minute benchy. So we're going through the auto leveling at the moment. That should take a few minutes. I'm going to leave the door open. Again, this is the door. Also, on the pinch point that I noticed last night, there was a bit of swarf that was just built up between the glass and the aluminium. So I've removed that now, and we've eradicated that issue completely now. It is live. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Mr. V8 Rick. Hope you're well, mate. So I just figured I'd do a quick live stream of this thing printing. We've got the Bamboo Labs just to the right-hand side here as well. I'll move that over just for a sec. That's over here. So we're going to look at that and try and do a comparison video between the two of them. We're probably going to have a little race as well, so I might do another live on that in a little bit. Bamboo have sent me their pre-sliced benchy as well, so we can have an interesting race and see what the quality looks like. But I've been impressed so far. But again, I've just printed this out, and if you can see on there, there are some very, very small black spots on this, and that's, I imagine, is going to be from the heat generated from the hot end, and obviously the filament trying to get out, and I guess it's burning. So we're going to go through input shaping, and then we're going to go through the bed leveling. This is a bit of a, like all these printers, it does tend to sort of take its time. It's not just like a Prusa or an Endo where you can just hit the button and it just goes. It just seems to be kind of a lot of messing around. The other thing you'll hear is when this fan kicks in. I know there's been a few comments made about my reaction to that, like it's an overreaction, but I'm telling you now it's loud. Very, very loud. Good question, Mike. The pre-print stuff, and this is one of my big gripes with the Bamboo Labs, it just takes forever, doesn't it? I would say probably as long as this stream has been going, so that's 5 minutes now of prattling around, it heats up, then decreases down to 140. The bed is at 60 degrees at the moment. It's doing its calibration stuff. Now you can switch that off, I don't necessarily feel that you need to calibrate your printer every single time you use it, especially if you're just doing short prints. But yeah, it's an amount of time. Again, the Bamboo is probably sort of similarly timed. Apologies for the banging. We're doing some work downstairs at the moment. So now we're doing the auto bed leveling. In fact, while that's going on, I'm going to download the file that I was sent last night from Bamboo to see how quickly we can get this going. I've also got a few answers to some of the questions that I had. So I asked them last night, this is Creality, when can we get onto the OS? When can I open up via the email address? It says, the K1 device does not open the IP address access function for now. You can control the printer by adding the IP address to the Creality print. So basically, the Creality OS, again, is going to be locked for the time being. The strain sensor and the heat bed generate accurate leveling mesh and auto compensation. This was about how does it actually auto level, because it doesn't seem to be like a BL Touch or any kind of inductive probing. I've also asked for the Prusa slicer setup for the K1. They've given me that as well, which is awesome. It says here, what are we doing about color printing? There are no multicolor accessories for the K1 yet. To answer your question, CPA, the bearings are mounted into plastic. I don't know if they're glued or what, but again, they don't look too bad. Okay, so we're about to start now. So that was like, what, 7 minutes of messing around doing the tuning there. The other thing I asked about was, what's the alternative cameras for this system? They said there is no alternative camera for now. The optional AI and LiDAR operational camera will be available in the late of May, and they're going to send me one of those out when it comes. And what's the nozzle in this system? It's an M6 Star 23 at 0.4. So yeah, kind of interesting information there. Okay, we're off. Ready? First layer going down. Okay, we're off. Hey Phil, how you going? So I've just got some information back from Creality. The IP address that I've got for this, you can't actively get into it at the moment. They've closed it down, which is kind of what I assumed they might do. They've given me some links for Prusa Slicer, so I now use Prusa Slicer to slice the files up. This Benchy, incidentally, is it looks like a 5% infill. With maybe 1, possibly 2 layers. So they're cheating on the 15-minute really a little bit, but it is what it is. As I say, I've just done another print and we've got those black marks back on it again. And I think that's going to be down to, scalding the print a little bit, or the filament. And it uses an ultra fast filament that's Creality's own brand. So I say the questions that I asked were mainly about, how do you access the iOS, and when will it be available? It says the K1 does not open the IP address function for now. You can control the printer by adding the IP address to Creality Print, which of course is their software. That means you can basically send the print via the IP. But again, there is not going to be like an open clipper to this, regardless of Creality's commitment to open source for this particular printer. They also said that the strain sensors in the heat bed generate accurate leveling of the mesh for the bed leveling. Like I say, Prusa Sicer, I'm going to import that in a bit, and then I'll start doing some larger prints on this. I've also got the anti-vibration feet on, and if you saw the stream last night, I didn't have that on. Lots of people were moaning and complaining and bitching about it all, but it is what it is. If you look closely, where the light's coming in at the top, you can actually see how light that infill is. Okay, it's really shifting now. Again, we have got some movement on that. Incidentally, I do have a Benchy printed on a P1P, and again, you can see there that obviously the filament that's been used on this, you can't really see through it. I've got something similar to black when the nozzle was leaking a bit. I mean, it could be. It doesn't seem to be doing anything like that though. Everything seems to be pretty damn tight. But even on this Benchy print, you can see there's little black marks on it. So something's not that happy. And we're only printing at 210 degrees, so you wouldn't expect to see that usually. I'd be worried it'd run off the table. Well, the feet should keep it in place. It's other stuff falling off the table that might be the issue. Now, as I said before, I have got a little bit of build-up of crud on the pulleys on the left and right. For the X and Y axis. That is a worry, because what that will do, if you have excessive crud build up inside those pulleys, you're going to start getting deviations on the print. So if you're looking at something that's going to be completely round, you're going to get intermittently, you're going to get little bits that are not going to quite be mathematically correct. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Would it shake Jim's table? You know what? I think it would shake Jim out of the door. And following last night's stream, I've had quite an outcry of people messaging me. Lots of support. There was quite an amount of trolling last night. I'm a big boy, so, it is what it is. But it sort of shocked me and surprised me a little bit. It's very interesting when the 1% of the community is just horrendous. This black mark stuff that's coming at the minute is worrying me. So, Tang Michael, this is a 15-minute Benchy, but it says 17 minutes. We're 6 minutes in at 30%. I'm going to zoom in a little bit if I can, just to show you. Maybe you can see some of the black marks on that print, sort of in the middle of the Benchy, just slightly down. Sure, I can answer that, Conqueror. I have literally got a message from Creality this morning. There is no planned material or multi-material for the K1 series at the moment. That's not to say that the palette, or I think there's a new Genius print that's coming out. I can't remember what it's called now. One's called the palette. I can't remember what the other one's called, but they've put it on the bamboo, and it basically does extra colours and blends and does all sorts of crazy stuff. Also, from what I understand as well, Bamboo are also doing some colour blending multi-material changes as well. I think that's coming to the litho print guys. This is 600 millimeters per second. And to be fair, it's not a bad print. Annoyingly though, on the display, it doesn't actually tell you. That is shaking. It doesn't actually tell you the speed, which is a shame because it does tell you on Clipper. So the fact that that's not there. I did also miss, I know last night we were talking about, I couldn't find where to extrude. There's a top menu here. And some of the, if you look at the bottom here, the letters are just off of the display. So I actually didn't see what that was saying. I thought that was, it says extrude, retract, cooling. And you would have almost thought that was one kind of continuous thing. So I was wrong about that. I'm happy to be wrong. It is what it is. But yeah, it doesn't really give you any key information on, you know, other than the percentage. And on that, you've got the benchy here, and basically there's like a line here that's basically going up. I'd like to see some kind of extra menu that you can kind of see more things on that. I stopped watching some channels because of the hate from people in chat. I don't know why. You know what? I just think it's a bit sad. If I'm being completely honest, Christ, I'm unboxing a printer for goodness sake. You know, surely anybody doing that is, you know, doing it for the cause. I'm not getting paid for it. It's my time. You know, it's my time away from my family and stuff. So, you know, I don't know what it is. Is it jealousy? Is it? I don't know. But obviously super proud to be involved with this. Really glad that Creality managed to get these out. And it's just one of those things, you know, some of the big influencers out there at the minute, they're all at TCT in Chicago. So, you know, if they've had the delivery. And also, by the way, here's the thing, Creality didn't tell me that this was arriving. I knew I was getting it, but they couldn't give me a tracking number and they couldn't give me a date. So this was going to either be the Soval SV07 or it was going to be this printer. So, like I say, I had to capitalise on it last night. Dan, the frequency of the stream is grey. I like the form of process to the screen a lot. Is that versus last night? And hello to you, 33 people that are watching this. You get the privilege of watching this because I wasn't going to do a stream. I was actually in the middle of doing some shorts and figuring out what's going on. Just got this out of the car. It's been a busy morning. Most of the items you will buy will be televisions, washing machines, computers. There aren't many live unboxes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Some of the comments though are just brilliant. So I'm not down in the dumps. I'm not, you know, having a manic depressive episode or anything. I just kind of felt like, wow, do I really deserve that? I've got loads of tweets coming in as well. Can we see the web UI? Here's the thing, Paul. I've got the answer from Creality because I asked that question last night before I went to bed, okay? The question was this: are you able to access the OS via the IP address? If not now, then when? This is their answer. The K1 device does not open the IP address access function for now. You can control the printer by adding the IP address to the Creality print. That is from a Creality individual, 100% gospel. That is what they've said. Now, this isn't so unusual because if you remember back to the Sonic Pad, they didn't open the web UI for that for a long, long time. And to be honest with you, I'm not even sure where they got to with that because I got a bit bored of it after a while, especially when you've got things like the FL Sun Pad and you've also now got the Big Tree Tech Pad 7, and they are Clipper. You know, you can load, you know, vanilla Clipper onto that and allow your printer to work the way that you want it. any of these closed source things, they kind of annoy me. We got 7 minutes left of this print. So this is actually what we'd say is a 17-minute benchy. The other weird thing about this is I don't know, and I'll have a look through the menus now. I don't know if I can increase the speed from this menu. So you got what you got, from what I understand. But 600 millimeters per second at the absolute maximum. This probably won't be running for the most part in 600 millimeters per second, because if you understand how that works, you get peaks and drops. Obviously, if it's a very, very small part, it won't be doing, you know, crazy breakneck speeds. But yeah, ultimately, it can go very, very quickly. And if the stream goes well, then I might just whack another one on in a few minutes. I take these comments weren't on YouTube. No, they weren't actually. They were mostly on Facebook, when I was obviously just talking about the stream, trying to get the stream out there. One of my favourites was worst YouTuber. That was that was just great for me. Nothing like a confidence boost just before you go to bed at night. Damn, so they really want you to use their clouds and not the web. I think they will open it. If I'm honest, I think they will open the web UI. They have, you know, if you look at the website, they've got this full commitment, or they're telling you there's a full commitment to open source. So I imagine they will be doing that eventually. Okay, my interest is to see how we can set the K factor and pressure advance. Paul, I'm totally there with you, buddy. 100%. I want to be accessing this via Clipper. I want to be able to go into the IP address and work my magic and get my settings the way I want them to be. And at the moment, categorically, according to this email, you cannot do that. Last night when I did a live stream on this, I tried to get into the IP address. It didn't let me in. I thought, well, maybe I haven't got the right port. Maybe I haven't got, you know, I've been around Clipper a little while now. I'm not a novice to it. I'm not an expert by any stroke of the imaginations. I'm no Nero, but what I will say is I can navigate myself around it, and I just couldn't get into it last night. And that kind of makes sense now, because obviously as these machines come out for the very first time, I think they want people to, certainly influencers, to be showing them off. And that being the case, that's kind of what we're doing now. And when you start getting into delving into the software related things and stuff you can then find on the file systems, I think that's when Creality seemed to clam up a little bit. And again, you know, I did say this last night, Creality, and this is 100% fact, asked me not to do the stream last night. Then later on, after the stream had finished and we peaked at 320 people last night, they were like, actually, you made the right decision. So go figure. And I hate that. I'm not a big fan of people telling me what I can and can't do, especially when they sent me a printer and, you know, I've got to do things my way. But they were super respectful to it all. It's certainly not a bad thing, but that did happen. I'm interested to see how slow it goes to be silent, nearly silent. Well, here's the thing, right? What I can do now is I can turn the volume down by shutting the door. And that does reduce it by more than 50%. And on Saturday, we're doing a live stream, Phil from 3DP UK and myself. We're going to be in this studio here, and we're going to do some tests around that. We're going to, you know, work out what the decibels are on the ambient room. We're going to work out what it is versus the Bamboo Labs as well. Like I say, Paul, going back to your comment there about Creality's moves and changes, we're at 92%, by the way. I totally agree with you, and I think they will, but it's like anything. I think when you release a new product, you don't just want to allow everybody to, you know, get into it too much. They just want, oh my God, that's crazy. They just want people to use the printer, I think, for the minute, and show off what the ability is, because ultimately, for Creality, this isn't a hobby. This is, you know, this is business. But not having the functionality that they promised from day one, like with the Sonic pads, is a big issue for me. We're just finishing up on the chimney now. We're at 94%. Print speed, Eric, this does up to 600 millimeters per second. Hello, Collie. Allah, less shake than yesterday's. What's the difference? Okay, so the difference is there's two big major issues with that. Number one, it's not sat on top of another printer. Number two, we have got these vibration feet on today that they also sent me in the box. I didn't put them on last night because I was just too damn excited. So that being the case, we stuck the feet on there today. And yeah, there you go. How's it going, Collie? So like I say, access via IP is restricted at this point in time. And again, my other big question, which a lot of you guys asked, was what are we doing about colour? You know, are we going to get a 16 colour palette? There are no plans at the moment. That's what they're telling me. Someone else said to me earlier that the Max apparently was rumoured to have colour, but not according to the people that I'm talking to. I wish these companies would spend an extra 20 cents and put a USB port in a good slot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Also, I mean, one of my comments last night, if you see this across here, this is basically a magnet across here, and then you've just got this kind of, you can't really quite see, hang on a minute. If you just look at here, this bit here, it's a bit snaggy. So, okay, so we finished the print. So that's their 17-minute benchy. 600 millimeters per second seems highly optimistic. What is your current speed? Eric, it doesn't tell me. If I could tell you, I'd be very, very happy to report on the exact speed. And I've just broken the chimney off on that. Great. As I say, with regards to optimal speed, you're limited by, you know, I'm no fool to this. I understand how it works. You're limited by various things, but I have broken the chimney off, so awkward. But if you look at the print, let's have a look here. Hopefully you can see that. We've got these little black marks in there. And I'm going to guess let's take this bit off, that is down to sort of scorch marks on the filament. But it's not bad for a 17-minute benchy. I mean, I said this last night, you know, some of the Voron guys would absolutely kill for that. But look at how dirty this bit is on here. I don't know if you can see that. See the marks on here? So I'm just going to whack the section solid print, which is basically this thing. So anyone that kind of doubted the speed, you're going to see that in a few seconds once this calibrates through. Let's have a look here, see what comments we've got. We've got a few here. Yeah, so Eric, 600 millimeters sounds highly optimistic spec. What's your current speed? Again, we can't give you that information because physically I can't give it to you because I can't get into the printer for it to tell me that exact speed, but it is very, very quick and it's very, very noticeable. Thomas, I've got a pre-order of the K1, just got the tracking number from DHL, no way of knowing if it's from Creality. Okay. Yeah, the reason it is shipped from Germany is because there is it sounds really weird, but if you ship to the UK, you get crazy import tax because of the way that things are structured. But the embargo between, or the relationship between Germany and the UK is certainly better than it is China to the UK due to those taxes. So that's why they do that. They sent it to a hub. Bambi do the same. It's like the TFT cards, SD micros, they're almost upside down. Yeah, they are. And the other thing is when you have an SD card slot and you put the SD card in and it falls into the machine. I hate that. Maybe they tested it, maybe they did, but we are 4 or 5 prints into this now. We've got black specks on this one. Can you see that? Not so many on this one, but they're still relevantly there. If you can see that on this print as well. So we're about to print this one again. This is the super speedy thing. Again, just to give you a, you know, what the Bamboo Labs, the P1P is this one here. There's not really that much in it, to be honest with you, other than the filament's a little bit tastier. There's a line here for the hub as well. Some of the definitions on the parts are slightly better on the Bamboo. But again, that was a slower print overall, right? Can you print something that's not Creality sliced? Roger, 100% I can do that. They've literally just a few minutes ago, they sent me the INI file for the Prusa slicer. So, like I say, you know, part of what I'm doing with this printer now, I'm fully committed to just doing this. I've got nothing else on at the minute. So I'm just going to be doing K1 stuff. I'm going to try and print out as much as I can. And, you know, if people are interested in looking at this printer, buying this printer, understanding what it's a little bit about. I did say last night as well, you know, Joseph Prusa came out and said he values quality over speed. And I do too, and I think most people in the community do. So is this one of those printers that's just super, super quick, but actually, like you saw with the, like you just saw with the Benchy, that just snapped right off. I wasn't that aggressive with it. Bamboo though, you know, that's on there. Can you print something without glue? I can try. Point two, any ideas on how long this Benchy would take on other machines? No, they haven't given you that information. And as I say, I think it's a bit ambiguous as well because it looks like it's 5% infill. It's crazy light as well. I wish I had some scales. Maybe that's what we should do on Saturday, Phil. We should maybe get some scales. But you can tell that this is a heavier Benchy. But yeah, it's... The layer lines don't look much off 0.2. It's a 0.4 nozzle as well. Yes, I did find the extrude. That is basically, if I can show you that, if we look into the menu system here, hopefully you can see that here. So you've got axis movement temp. Now, when you get this menu open here, it kind of looks like this stuff is in the background here because it's grayed out. But there is a button here. When you press that, that's where you can then get your extrude and retract settings from. There's also another one for cooling here as well. You can do that from the main menu. But it's very difficult to see. And although it does say, you know, it's grayed out, it's quite dark. I don't know. It's there though. It is there. So that's it. So now, with 53 people watching, streams are going crazy right now, especially early doors on a weekday. Maybe import the Benchy into Cura and get the speed targeting on, yeah, totally. So I have the Bamboo next to me. Let's move this over. It's just here. X1 Carbon is there. I'm keen, I might do it now actually, move this back a little bit. I'm keen to have them both printing at the same time from cold. So maybe we can do that in a minute. The video that Creality posted had a Benchy printed at 0.25 layer lines. That's how they got it so fast. How it got fast. Yeah, I mean, like I say, on here it could be 0.25, and again, if you look at the pressure on that, it's very, very difficult to tell, really, to be honest with you. Also, the other thing is this is 5%, and I think it's just like a single layer as well. So yeah, you're right. That's how they got it. How they got it so quick. But what you're about to see now is this thing, and this is crazy, crazy quick. That's a 7-minute print. I want you to add subtitles, and there is a little information in Japan. So I'd like to use it as reference. Okay. I actually got a notification, which is good for YouTube. Awesome. So what I'll do then, while you're on, let's push the Bamboo over a little bit. And maybe we'll do that. So after this print, we'll then do a side-by-side Benchy print. Not that I want to be doing Benchies for the rest of my life, but it seems to be that this is on the Bamboo Labs. Could you try another filament to see if the black spots are part of the Creality filament? Yes, I absolutely can do that. Let me see what I've got here. What would you like? I hear Polymaker's good. Okay, here's a better idea. This is what I got. So I've got some Bamboo Labs white that came with one of the P1Ps. I'm also loading that up with white on the AMS, the X1 Carbon. And again, that is a matte filament. So yeah, PLA matte. Could you rotate the stream to 16:9 so we can see the both printers at the same time. You know what? I will do that. I don't know why I did it this way round, to be honest with you. But we can do that now. Ready? Okay, that orientation is locked apparently. How do we unlock that? Tell you what, I'll get that done in a minute. I might have to sort of do some magic with that. Let's move in back to where we were. Anything but black or grey. See, okay, so let's do that then. Let's do the PLA from Bamboo. So we're doing first layer here at the moment. This is this crazy quick print, and you know, any naysayers are thinking that perhaps the 600 millimeters per second thing isn't real. This might change your opinion on that. It is a short screen, you're right. That was the idea. Let's have a look. I was probably too excited. I probably was. Okay, so you'll hear the fan kick in and then it's just gonna go crazy. Again, we can't tell, I can't exactly tell you exactly what the speed is because it doesn't give me the readout information on the screen. Here we go. And the fan's kicking in. Is the K1 shipping right now? Apparently it is available for pre-order. This is a machine that's been sent to me. I'm on the first run of Creality's, and I hate the word, influencer program. There's a number of reasons for that, which I won't go into. Looks like a Core XY maybe. It is a Core XY. Just going to see if I can find any. I've got filters and stuff on here which I want to turn off, get rid of that. I'll try the orientation thing again, but I don't know if that's set when it's set. Bamboo was a sure lock for me until this came out. Now I'm unsure which one to go for. Panther lights. Well, Bamboo was a sure shot for me as well, which is why I replaced all my printers with Bamboo Labs printers. So I've got 6 of these now. So, you know, I'm probably best placed to have an opinion on it, I would hope. Although, depending on who you ask. So if you are optimistic on print speeds, that's pretty quick.
Well, I had to go do something. It was something like 168 people. Free to yeah. I just shut it outside, and then it started doing the act. I left it. So it's like pause halfway through. Yeah. No, sorry, it stopped the laser. But it only did because you had time for like 15 minutes. Yeah. It just stopped. But I haven't seen that before. It was weird. Yeah. Everything switched off. It is. It was tech. I was like, I kind of want to make it. I was like, where's when that's it.
Yeah, that's
So it's literally, yeah. I mean, I got one.
All right, see you in a bit. Sorry about that, chaps. I just had to step away. Someone knocked at the door, so I wanted to see what was going on. Nozzle cam won't be too fast. Yeah, can you imagine that? It looks like the whole table is shaking. The table is definitely 100% not shaking, and you can see the vibration plates here and here. You can see that they're kind of doing their job, but it is crazy quick. So sorry about that. I just had a buddy of mine just turn up. Let's have a look. Right, here we go. Oh, hello. Right, hang on a minute. I reckon it's hard to tell the print quality on camera with white filament. I agree with that. Are you supporting Creality breaking licensing on open source software they use? Leo the Human, I am 100% not supporting anybody that is breaking any licenses. But I think also at the same time, you need to give them a fair shot to get the product actually physically out the door and released within an agreeable time frame. I don't know the full legislation of what the timescales are. I'm sure there is something put in place there, but I also cannot see anybody challenging Creality from a legal standpoint. So to answer that question, no. Bamboo, big drawback for me is the carbon rails. They wear. I prefer steel rods and bearings for easy change. Totally agree with that, Paul. Thank you for the insight. The seam looks like a huge bargain when compared to others like the X1 Carbon. Yeah, but depends what you value. So I like the way that the Bamboo Labs allows me to print remotely. Obviously, Creality Cloud does a similar thing, but this doesn't have a camera. It doesn't have the LiDAR, if you value LiDAR at all, which I don't, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, you know, if you're into old school ways in some respects, I don't know if they've quite caught exactly what we're pushing forward for. The K1 is still rods. Should we get on the nozzle cam? Won't be too fast. Looks like the table's shaking. We went through that. Still early bird. I hope the open source commitment will come to. So do I. 100%. So do I. Hey Sam, print the magnetic front like the Bamboo Lab printhead. Oh no, it doesn't. No, so the physicality of the printhead doesn't come off like the Bamboo Labs. Have I had a chance to print in ABS or anything like that? No, this is literally day 2. How does the first layer look to you? Fast, that's what it looks. So let's ping that out. Let's try and not break anything this time. Let's whip it off the bed. Let's get rid of that. What I'll do real quick, let's pop that back in. I'm gonna get rid of the filament that's in here. So we're gonna go over to the menu that I couldn't find earlier, which is here. And then we're gonna retract. So now we're just gonna heat the nozzle, prepare to do it, then retract. And then we're gonna put the PLA mat in, then we're gonna have a look between the two. Yeah, so price-wise, and that's the thing, is it going for the X1 Carbon or is it going for the P1P? The X1 Carbon is like $1,500–$1,600 or pounds. This is $599. So this is the print. This is the one we've just done. And actually, there isn't a great deal of black marks in this, so it might have just been some crud that was maybe just stuck in the nozzle. But there's some quality there. I can't honestly put any doubt onto that particular print right there. That's good. Look at this bit of filament being blown around all over the place. Okay, so the retracting is happening at the moment apparently, although it seems to be spitting stuff out left, right and centre. Just going to load the matte filament up. The other thing is, in the top here, there is like a locking mechanism for the filament. Just going to push that in, lock it into place. And once we've done that, we're then going to extrude. So let's get that done. I'm going to try now. I think vase mode will be great. So the orientation is locked. How do I unlock that? Cancel. Bear with me. It's kind of annoying. All right, we're just gonna have to move it back a little bit, I think. I think you have to restart the stream. I'm imagining you might have to. Do you want me to restart the stream so you get it in the other mode, or are you happy for me to continue? Let me know what you want me to do in the comments. There is 81 people watching at the moment. Probably start a new stream. Shall I do that? Are we all happy for me to do that? And then we can do the bamboo versus the K1, can't we? Okay, that's interesting. So it's just extruded some filament, but this fan is on at the moment, and it's almost getting caught up in it because it's just throwing it around. There we go. That was interesting. Oh, you can't see. There you go. That was interesting. Fine for you, fine for you. Okay, we're still extruding. I don't want too much more to be extruded here. Can we stop? It's just doing its thing. Whatever it wants to do at the minute. Okay, we've now stopped, thankfully. Cool, all right, well, I'll stop the stream, guys. Catch you in a few moments. Here we go.